What's up everybody, Shane Kohler here, and in today's video, I'm gonna teach you the process for increasing your confidence and attracting the right partner into your life. Now, I get it. You have been through it. You have fallen for people and you have had your heart crushed. You've met people and had the most electric connections and thought, oh my God, I've never felt like this before. This must be the one. Only to find out a few weeks or maybe a few years later that this was not the one, that this relationship was not meant to last, that it didn't have what it takes to go long term. And so now you want to know, how do I find the right partner? What do I have to do to attract this person into my life who's going to love me for who I am and be willing to put in the work to have this relationship last long term? And in today's video, I'm going to share with you the simple process that I've been taking clients through for years that allows you to attract that special someone into your life while filtering out all of the wrong ones. Now, I'm really excited to share this process with you, but before we begin, it's really important that you watch this video all the way through, because if you miss part of this process, it's not gonna work with you. Also, before we get started, please remember to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell so you get notified when new videos are released. My team and I are working very hard to put forth lots of great content for you, and I wanna make sure you get to see it. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being with me today. I'm really excited to dive in, and let's go ahead and get to it. So the first thing I wanna say about attraction or attracting the right partner is it's not about how you look. And I say that because most of the time when we think about being attractive to someone, or we think about what we can do to become more attractive or to attract more people, we often think about, making ourselves look better immediately. And obviously, looking good never hurt anyone, right? So for people who are looking for a relationship, it would behoove you to look your best, to look nice when you go out, to present yourself in a way where you're gonna catch someone's eye and they're gonna be interested. So I'm not telling you not to look good, but I'm saying that alone is not what's gonna create the attraction. You being slightly better looking than someone else is not gonna make the difference in whether someone wants a long-term commitment with you. So if you generally look good, if you generally look your best, that's enough. You don't have to do anything more than that. You don't have to try to look better than that. But what's really gonna make the difference and what's really gonna create the traction with someone is what they feel when they're with you. And you see, when we're looking for love, and this is the same for men and women, when we're looking for love or when we're looking for partnership, what we're really looking for is that feeling of being at home with someone, that feeling of being safe to be ourselves, that feeling of being recognized and respected and appreciated for who we are authentically. And so what somebody is looking for when it comes to, could we have long-term potential or could we really have a partnership here? What someone really wants to feel is that sense of, I'm recognized, appreciated, and accepted for who I am. That this person sees me and they like what they see, that this person appreciates me for who I am authentically. Now, my instruction or my advice here is not to go out and be extra validating and extra interested and making it like overly obvious that you accept someone. That's not what I'm suggesting here. What I'm actually going to suggest is that you do that for yourself, right? So the way you create that experience in someone else is not by over validating them. You can give them the appropriate amount of validation that would be, normal for a friend or for anyone. But the way to really create that experience in someone else is to bring that energy yourself. So when you show up proud of who you are, authentically sharing, authentically communicating, saying what's real for you, asking the questions you want to ask, sharing the things that you want to share, even if it might be a little bit vulnerable or a little bit scary, or you don't know how it's going to be received. But it's this willingness to be yourself authentically, this willingness to not adjust yourself in any way to try to get the other person's approval or to try to get them to like you or to try to get them to want to see you again. But it's literally just showing up as you. This is me. This is what I think. This is what I feel. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what I enjoy. This is what I want in the future. This is what I'm looking for in a relationship. Like whatever it is, across the board, sharing it all truly, authentically, being you truly and authentically, and letting that person have a real experience of you. Now, yes, not every single person on the planet is going to vibe with your authenticity, and that's okay. If somebody doesn't vibe with you when you're being your authentic self, this is one of the ways that you sort the potential partners out from those who have no potential, right? Because if you're being yourself authentically and this person isn't vibing with you, well, then a long-term relationship probably isn't going to work out between the two of you. But when you're being yourself authentically and somebody is vibing with you, that's where you have that opportunity for that really strong connection, that really strong, heartfelt, authentic connection. And this is why confidence is widely considered to be the most attractive quality among both men and women. Because confidence is literally being proud of who you are and not holding anything back. So when you show up to a date or to, the first several dates or the beginning of a relationship, expressing yourself authentically, again, sharing the things you want to share, asking the questions you want to ask, talking about what you want for the future, talking about what's real for you, no matter how you think it might be received or no matter what you think that person is going to do. You create the space for the other person to do the same. Now, you may or may not connect. You may or may not vibe. But when you strike that connection with someone, when your authenticity connects with their authenticity, and you're both free to be yourselves, and you're both receiving and in appreciation of what you receive, that is the best possible place to start a relationship. But if you don't bring that energy, you'll never know if that's there. So the first point is to really show up authentically in your value, in your gifts, with confidence behind that, to let this person experience the fullness of you, and in that you give them permission to share the fullness of themselves as well. So now we've got to talk about how to create confidence. Because if I told you just go be confident and that's the answer and it was that simple, well, you wouldn't even need to watch this video, right? You would just be out doing it. So the question is how do we create more confidence? And the truth is, if you live a life where 90% of the time you're surrounded by people, places, and things that are not uplifting or validating for you, and then you're thinking you could just turn around on a date and be super confident, that's unrealistic. That's not going to work because you're not living a life that facilitates confidence. So if you work in an environment where you feel undervalued and unappreciated, and your friends make fun of you, and in your free time, you're so exhausted that all you can do is drink a glass of wine and fall asleep watching Netflix, you've got to understand that you're not living a life that facilitates confidence. And so the idea that you could somehow be confident it's just not going to happen because you're not building that muscle, you're not building that momentum in every day with everything you do. So how do we build confidence? Well, I've found the best way to build confidence is to get connected to your personal gifts and talents, the things that make you unique, the things that make you special, the things that set you apart from everyone else. What is it that makes you special as an individual? And you get connected to that, and you find places and people where you can share those things and have them be received and validated and encouraged. Right? So basically what you're doing is you're identifying the gifts, the talents, the uniqueness about you, the things that set you apart from everyone else, and you're finding places where those things can be appreciated and received by other people. This is so important because this is the experience that tells you that you're enough. This is the life experience that shows you that you're worthy, that shows you that you have value, that shows you that you have something to offer. And if there's not spaces in your life where you are frequently and often experiencing that and receiving that validation, you're not going to have a foot to stand on when you try to be confident. So this happened for me when I started coaching. And prior to coaching, I spent many years doing construction. My father did construction. I grew up doing it. It's what I knew. It's what I did in my early 20s. And when I was starting out my adult life, it's what I knew how to do. And I always had the feeling that I wasn't living up to some potential that I had, or that there was more for me, or that I had something special to offer, or that I had a gift or something more to contribute to the world. And I didn't really know what that was, but I started to find it when I started coaching. And of course, I didn't just start coaching. I mean, I had to get certifications. I had to do lots of trainings. I had to, work with lots of people and just learn and grow and build my brand and master my craft. Like, I had to do all of that. But every step that I took along that way built my confidence. Every step that I took towards something that was deeply meaningful for me and that felt important and felt like I was living my purpose, that built my confidence in myself. And when I started getting into places where I could share my coaching or share my talks or share my videos with people and have them say, yes, I like this. Yes, this is serving me. Yes, this is helping me in my life. Our call the other day changed everything. Now I was able to go do blah, blah, blah. When I had people giving me this feedback, and I received that validation from people, that's when I started to connect to the fact that I am a valuable human being, that I have value to offer, that my presence on this planet is important and it makes a difference to people. And the more I got connected to that, the more I started to show up with high value in dating. Because it started to get to the point where I was living in a world where I was connected to my value on a regular basis. I was around other people who were connected to my value on a regular basis, and they were giving that feedback with me. And so when it came time to go on a date or meet someone new, like I'm there going, I like who I am. I live in a world full of people who like who I am. Like I get it that I am enough, that I am valuable, that I have a lot to offer. And so if you don't get that, that sounds like your problem, not mine. And so I was able to show up from that place, and that gave me the freedom to really be bold, be confident, and share my authenticity with people. The truth is, when we come from the approach of trying to get someone to like us, there's a subconscious message that we're sending ourselves that says you're not enough, because only someone who's not enough would ever try to get someone to like them in the first place. And that actually destroys your confidence. And the more you try to prove yourself to people, the less you feel about yourself. But when you go inside, and the way to really create confidence, like I said, is to go inside, to connect to what's unique about me, what's special about me, what gifts do I have to offer? Am I an artist? Am I a writer? Am I a visionary? Am I a leader? Am I a teacher? Like, what can I offer to the world? What can I offer at work? What can I offer my friends? What can I offer my family? Where can I share my value? Where can I share my gifts and have them be received and appreciated by others and get that reflection of my value back to me so I can start to become confident standing on my own 2 feet as the human being that I am? And when you build that muscle and you build your identity around your value, being confident is going to become a non-issue, because that is a direct result of living from your value. So now that you're connected to your confidence and you're leading with your value, there's only one more thing we need to talk about, and that's creating respect. It might sound counterintuitive, but someone can like you, they can think you're cool, they can think you're fun to hang out with, they can think you're pretty or attractive, they can think you're smart, they can think, all these things about you, but that doesn't equate to respect. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is we put so much emphasis on being this cool, fun, likable person, but no emphasis on building respect in the relationship. Because the truth is, building respect in the relationship requires you to disappoint the other person to some degree. Because respect is built by having standards, and standards are created by saying no to things. So you say, no, I don't feel like doing that tonight. Can we do something else? You say, no, I don't feel like I'm ready to sleep with you yet. Would it be okay if we waited a while? You say, no, I'm not available that night. Can we make plans on another night? Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying to just flippantly say no to things just to assert that you're worthy of respect, okay? I'm not saying that. That would be immature and childish and antagonistic, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't create respect with anyone. So we need to clarify this point. What I'm talking about is being connected to your truth, being connected to what's real for you. So you're not just saying no to everything, you're saying no to the things that you need to say no to honor your truth. But you're not willing to just be a yes to everything just to make the other person happy. Now, this is so important, and a lot of times when we like someone and we want them to like us, we don't want to disappoint them. So we just want to be a yes to everything. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'm available. Yes, let's go. Yes, whatever you want. We want to make them happy because we want them to like us. And it might be counterintuitive to think that you actually have to disappoint them to earn their respect. But when you say no to someone, when you set that standard, this is what happens, is you humanize yourself. Instead of being someone who's just there available for this person's entertainment, they start to see you as a real human being who has your own needs, your own dreams, your own desires, your own wants, as someone who is worthy of care and compassion and attentiveness and respect. And when you're just okay with everything all the time, when you're not honoring your truth that, I really don't want to do that. That really doesn't feel right for me. Actually, what you said or what you did doesn't work for me. I need you to say or do things like this instead. Right? So to some degree, you're challenging the relationship a little bit. Not a lot, not aggressively, not in a mean or nasty way, but you're just simply saying, look, not everything is okay with me. I have my own dreams, my own desires, my own wants, my own needs, and I expect you to honor that if you want to be in a relationship with me. You humanize yourself. You make yourself a real person to them, and you earn respect from them as a human being that way. When you never do this in a relationship, when you're always a yes, when you're always okay with everything, when you're always subordinating what is real for you or what's true for you to give the other person what they want, it's not that they don't respect you as a human being. They might respect you as a human being if they're a respectful person, but they won't respect you as an equal partner. And the reason is because you've given them the relationship on their terms completely. And so you haven't raised yourself to the status of equal partner in this relationship. You haven't established that sometimes you get what you want, sometimes I get what I want, and those are not always the same things. And what I want is worthy of equal respect and attentiveness and validation in this relationship. So it's so important to not always be a yes, not always be the cool person, the available person, the person who's cool with everything. But when something is actually a no for you, to honor that, to communicate it, to tell that person what would be a yes instead, to give them the opportunity to step up and provide that for you. Now, what's gonna happen is you're gonna meet some people who are only out for fun. And when you meet someone who's only out for fun, your standards interrupting their fun are gonna cause them to lose interest. I know a lot of times when you do that, that freaks you out and you go, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have had that standard. Maybe I should have just been cool with it. Why am I so difficult? Blah, blah, blah. But you've gotta understand that's a good thing. When your standard interrupts their fun and causes them to lose interest, that's a good thing, because what you're doing in that moment is you're weeding out the ones who don't have real potential. You're weeding out the people who are only there for fun. But at the same time, in you doing that exact same thing with a different person, you're not gonna drive them away because you're ruining their fun. You're gonna call forth their respect. They're gonna see you as a high value person who knows who they are, who knows what they want, who knows how they want to be treated, who knows what they expect in a relationship. And they are gonna want to be that with you. They are gonna want to create that with you. So yes, be confident. Yes, lead with your value. Yes, share your gifts with people. And also communicate your standards, because that's how you earn somebody's respect. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it, and please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And for those of you who would like to do a deep dive with me, I want to invite you to subscribe to the Conscious Love Show podcast. I release new episodes every Tuesday, and each week I go into a deep dive on one of these profound topics, and we talk about all the different ways of how to create and sustain long-term conscious love. The podcast gets incredible reviews. People find amazing value in it. And if you want to continue this conversation and learn more, that is definitely the place you want to be. So thanks again for being with me for today's video. I just really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you following along. If you have questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next week in the next video. Take care.